Pessoal, bom dia. Hoje eu estou aqui com uma convidada muito interessante, bastante especial também aqui para o canal, porque é um projeto que eu gosto bastante, que ela realiza de música. Nós já tivemos a passagem aqui também de vários artistas, mas eu acho fantástico também o trabalho dela, que é da Rúnahild Bjarkan. Ela tem um trabalho muito bom relacionada à música nórdica. Ela tem esse projeto, né, de folctrônica, e a gente vai ter essa conversa com ela para a gente conhecer mais sobre esse projeto, entender também como que ela se utiliza desse conhecimento da música nórdica de outros períodos, como da era viking, e também dessas inspirações também atuais para fazer o projeto dela. Runa, thank you so much for being here and doing this interview. It's a big pleasure receiving you here. I'm a big fan of your work.
Thank you so much.
How do you start your interest for have compositions and a sound with this Nordic theme and thematic in your songs? How you start your interest for that?
Yeah, for me, my interest for Norse mythology started before music. So it's when I was about 16 years old. And I was in a very dark period in my life. And I was first listening to a lot of black metal. And eventually I came into pagan music and Viking inspired music. And that was a click. It was just like there. It was right away. It's like I listened to this band Falkenbach from Germany. It's like, and next day I was buying all the books I could find about Viking culture, mythology, everything I could find about Vikings, basically. And that, for me, was really bringing a light in my life. It was a huge shift to find something beautiful in the world. So and it was connecting me. I've always been very much close to nature and to an idea that there are spirits in nature, but somehow it's like it's the first time that I could connect with a spiritual system that made sense. That was finally something that I can resonate with. So that's how my love for Norse mythology started. And then a few years later, I started playing on a keyboard. And it kind of like also was a kind of a click. It's like I was at a friend's, and then she had a small keyboard, and I'm like, oh, can I try to play on it? And she said, yeah. And it was right away. I just felt, oh yeah, I need to play music. It's it's something I have to do. And so I bought my first keyboard. I started to compose ambient music, and I've been, yeah, it simply came. I mean, it was, for me, music was a way to be able to express my spirituality, and of course the Norse mythology, and the references were right away from the start coming with me, from the ambient to then I went to folk and so on. So yeah.
Yes, very interesting. And we can say that many aspects of the nature and are present in your compositions. You have this connection with nature. How do you use that for construct your lyrics, and how do you express this connection with nature and related to Norse mythology for your creating your songs?
It's so difficult for me to put this into words, but for me it's like, well, there is no separation between music and nature. I live very close to. I live off grid. I live in mountains, so I am with nature all the time. I grow most of my food, and not everything, but a lot. And I live with the seasons. And it's so important for me. It's like to take in all the atmospheres and all the changes, the smells, the lights, the shadows, everything. And it's like, and somehow I need this, and it's like I can recharge myself with it, and then when I go and play music, whatever atmosphere I am kind of like is imprinted in in me, and I'm just somehow yeah, it's very I'm not sure how I can put it in words, but I feel like it's with me when I'm composing, and it's impacting yeah, maybe the themes I'm going to use, what am I going to sing about, or at least it's kind of it's holding space for whatever story is going to come through. And yeah, and yes. Yeah, I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, it answer. And we saw that you use many aspects with this in the to create the ambience of some album covers, and this is very beautiful because we saw that in some covers the use of the forests
Yeah,
and the use of some characteristics of that to create the album covers. I would like to know how do you have the ideas for construct the covers? To you take some picture or you have some photograph that do that, because it's covers that are very fantastic, and you see beautiful lights in the using of the image. How do you have this process of creation?
it's pretty chaotic, to be honest. It's I seldom have a vision before I actually start working with covers. I have material, and I have maybe an energy or an intention or something I want. Like, okay, if the album is more ethereal, maybe I want to try to capture, or if it's a bit more vulnerable, maybe I want to try to capture that. And then I take a lot of pictures, and then I layer with either layer with fog or layer with on Cedrin I layered with a rune stone that is together with the picture of me and the spinning wheel. I kind of like layered that, so it brings this ancient. I feel it brings an ancient vibe, and but it's really it's kind of I just go with the flow, and I'm changing this, changing that, trying this, trying that, and it's a little bit, it's very chaotic until I kind of like come to, oh yeah, here we are going to there we are starting to come somewhere here. And sometimes it's a bit simpler. Sometimes I have like a much clearer idea and I'm going for it, and I'm like, okay, I want this picture, so I'm going to go for this photo session, and then I get like, okay, there we are. That's there is the expression I want.
Oh, that's fantastic. It's amazing, that you take some pictures and just this work with the covers and the albums. It's amazing because it's we have beautiful images that are
Thank
part
you.
of this in the album. I think turn this a very mystic and very unique
Oh,
in
thank you.
in,
Makes
in
me happy
many
to hear.
parts. And the instruments, I think it's important in this type of music. We have a lot of sounds that instruments that, how can I say, they're part of the history of many songs in album. And how do you use these instruments, and how is for you to put they in many aspects of your songs? How many instruments do you work on, and for you, how this work for you?
Yeah, I play a lot of different type of acoustic instruments. Like I can play the lyres and a bit of talharpa. I'm practicing on it, and hand drums and all of that, and but I also mix together with electronic music more and more through the years. And for me, it's really, again, it's not something that I necessarily, okay, I'm going to make a song with a lyre, this and this and that. It's like like, I have this energy, I have this feeling I need to express. Which instrument, which sound is gonna help me express? Which sound is gonna feel complete what I want to express? And it usually starts this way. It usually starts with something I need to express inside, emotions or part of my journey, or it can be nature, or it can be just and it's usually I will start with the voice and having a melody with the voice, and then it's like, okay, what do I want? Do I want drums, or do I want a rhythm at all, or what needs to be there? And it's a little bit like, it's not very logical. It's more like, okay, I can look around, I can just have a feeling. Okay, here I can actually hear a lyre that could bring a melody that's kind of dry, or maybe I want something like more sustained, more, or maybe ambience with a keyboard that just simply like a drone that just keeps the tone, kind of like fog. Like if I see fog, I'm like, okay, I want something that sounds like that in the background. So I need this, and I can create on this, and then it kind of evolves on that, and then I'm basically using whatever sounds inspires me. I'm not limiting myself to a specific genre or timeline or anything. It's just, that's also why I have been going more with electronic as well, because I came to a point, okay, I need a new inspiration, a new sound, a new, and I have been very inspired by listening to it. So I'm like, okay, I need to kind of go through that now, and so it's really just following inspiration and going with the flow, not too much thinking.
Amazing. And it's fantastic because we saw in many bands and many musicians are using these type of instruments that are part of a past that are very historical, and this creates many forms of music that we can transport to this past. And this is fantastic because I love how that instruments and how they sound and combine with these types of songs.
Yeah, exactly.
It's very very different. And it's interesting because in your genre of music is called like a folktronic. And how we can say about this type of genre, how this have a significance of how we can say about um, folkatronic, because we have many how can I say, many species of folk. We have bands that are folk like this, folk like that. And how is the general folkatronic of your sound?
Well, to be honest, I having a really hard time describing my music, and I can never really fit in any genre. So it's like I heard folktronic, and I was like, well, this, I think this probably what's is closest to what I'm doing. And in my mind, it can be different things, but for me, it's a mix of folk influence and having electronic, more modern sounds combined together. I mean, like, but I think it's quite open to you have very different types of folktronic out there, and you don't necessarily need the folk instrument either. If you have the folk influence of writing music, that can also, some bands are also calling this folktronica. So I think it's quite. I'm not good at genre. I find this so hard. It's like,
Yeah, this is it's very interesting because we have so many types of genres that are considered pagan or folk, and this is different. When we saw it's I think was one of the first time that I saw this term like folktronic was I think with some other bands that they put this term, and I was very curious to have an explanation about what is the folkatronic genre, because it's very different when we saw that. And
yeah.
when they say, oh, this is an album, a folkatronic album, and I say, oh, I would like to ask you, a person that was considered that, and what is
I don't
this
know
is
if I'm
about.
helping much.
Yeah. And Bruna, is interesting that in your site you tell your experience that you discover in 2023 that you have autism, and me discover like you in 2003 too.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, the diagnosis at the same period of you,
Wow.
and is fantastic because you have an album that part of this is your experience of acceptance of this, that of darkness and light.
Mm.
And for you, what is discover that you have part of this condition, and do you see difficulties to producing having these this how can I say, this condition, and or how this is work for you? You are found something that you say, oh, for me it's difficult sometimes doing these aspects and to create something, or for you know this is not uh, how can I say, this is not affect the how I am as an artist. Is for me it's a thing that part of me, and
Mm.
I say do things not have any problems. How do your experience doing this?
Yeah, for me it was the social aspect that was the huge eye opener. Not just, but it was like really the parts of my life that I struggled a lot, or yeah, all the time. And I came to a point I thought it was social anxiety, and I'm like, okay, so if I fix my social anxiety, then I can function normal. Like, then I can connect with people, right? And I can have friendship like other people have, and and I worked on myself for years, trying to think that everything was just an anxiety problem, and that's it. If I fix it, I fix everything. And I just come to a point when, you know what? No, it's like there was something fundamental about me that could just not be changed, regardless of how much I tried to fix the anxiety. It's like it's not. It didn't start with the anxiety. It started with social challenges, and the anxiety came as a result of the social challenges. And for me, it's you can go back from when I first was put in the kindergarten and I was sitting in a corner and I refused to play with the others. It was this total resistance. I am not doing this. And I just didn't talk to anybody. I mean, I was just, that's it. I'm not doing anything. And it's like, not teacher, but the person responsible tried to make me play with us. I'm like, I am not doing this. I don't want to play those games. I have my own games. Thank you. And and this kind of been like going through my whole life, and I've always been into my own universe, and I just follow my life this way. And I thought I didn't think so much about it. I was just, this is how I am. When I get into something, I'm very passionate about it, and I dedicate my whole life to it. That's why I get this. That's why I get where I get in life, because I have one very tunnel vision. This is where I want to go, so I'm going there. And 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 I've not regarded so much, and I have had all this difficulty with the socializing, and I have just, yeah, I haven't. But at some point, I realized that there was something just not functioning, and like it just doesn't matter what I'm doing. It just doesn't. It's just not how I can't do. I'm not good at small talk. I can't do this regardless of how much I try to learn. I still feel like, what, this is just impossible. How do they do it? And so it's like, that's a big aspect. Of course, there is more. That's just one aspect of autism. That's been the one that has the other aspect. I have dealt with it because I have just made my life the way I want it. So all the sensory overload or overwhelm, social normal issues, I have just moved to the mountains and isolated myself. It's like, and I'm just here in the mountains, and when I'm here, I'm fine. And then I'm actually quite functioning, right? But as soon as I need to get out of here, and I need to get out of my routine and my everyday, my safety, everything that's safe. And I'm with my partner who is not autistic, and then I realize really all my challenges with dealing with unpredictability. It's it's really it's quite challenging to go for concerts and playing live. It can be very difficult, and I still do it, but not so much. And you have to, you just live in a world where you have to learn to be more flexible, and that's also a difficult thing, not knowing exactly. And you can't okay, I need to know exactly what's gonna happen, how the room is gonna be, all the food I'm gonna eat. Yeah, it's you just, those are challenges, and I'm learning to deal with it. I have an amazing partner who supports me and do his best to accommodate me throughout when we have to travel out. I generally am very lucky with people in my life who just say, okay, understand, we are going to do our best. And then I do my best to accommodate myself. So, yeah.
Oh, that's nice to hear. Because I asked you that because this is so how you have this experience with music that is not impacted by the fact of your a person with autism. This is part of you, and you doing this and using the inspirations for your songs, and this is working with you, and you doing your, how can I say, how can I say the expression? You doing your things that you are considered with that. You put you need the experience of have this, but this is not impact. You don't put this to say, oh, I don't know do that because of that. This is part of me, and I use this for me have this perspective of doing the things that I want to do, and don't not, how can I say, not make this I think that will be difficult for me. You'll be a challenge, but um, I will change the things. I will do the best of me and doing my projects.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is fantastic, so that because you work with this very well, and we see that you are a person that puts your heart in your songs. You put your experiences. This is amazing that you do this album, because show that you are in a discovery way for what is this territory. Now I'm discovered that I am artist person, and I want to discover myself how this is working in me, and this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So this in this album. And for the production of the album, how was the backstage from doing this? How do you have the ideas of the compositions to combine this with the aspects of nostalgia? How this work for construct this album in 2023?
Yeah. There is not so much of, actually, when I went through this diagnosis around it's 2 years about, or yeah, that was a time when I went very much inward, and I kind of did not think too much. Not say, okay, the spirituality is always a part, but I wasn't so much focused on that aspect. I was really much more working inward into finding myself and accepting myself and expressing this part of the journey. So it felt like I was in a cave, right? And for that, I feel that there was this like a few albums, past albums, where I just went more and more and more inward and not so much influenced by nostalgia. But it's always somehow in the background. So like I can't really let go of it. But it has not been much. And then it's coming back with the next album I'm working on, but like full coming back now. But I need this time where I just, okay, who am I? Why? And I needed to express this just emotional without too much of, yeah, without defining, just okay, what do I feel? What have I felt throughout my life? And there's always nature and everything, but just not. Yeah, I just had to go inward. Yeah, so so.
Okay, yes, it's amazing. It's fantastic. The perspective of this album. I like very much when I listen and I discover the some significance about the album, and it's fantastic. I think this is a very unique and original album that I
Thank you.
listening in that last times that I listen is a very very and how can I say, a very um like choosing an expression, a very instigate album is fantastic. It's different and very very very
Thank you.
unique and special.
Thank you.
And Runa, you say that have some experience, that live experience and the experience of the recording experience. And for you, what do you consider that most challenge, and what did you like or you see difference to doing this type, like you are recording an album or and do this in live in some point? How do you work in these two areas as a musician?
It's very well. It's very different, and yeah. Oh, that's really interesting question. Yeah, no, I'm not sure how to talk. I think, I mean, when I work on the music for albums, it's going to be more in my bubble, and yeah, the inward. and then there's going to be first the part that is inspiration and just, okay, the creation. That's the part I love best, of course. It's like when the energy is right there, and then there is, of course, a challenge of arranging and making this sound, finally making the sound sit, and all of this. That would be the hard part of working with studio recordings. And live is about, that's the opposite. It's like you kind of like, you want to be able, okay, I want to be able to channel, to kind of come in that space where I just am in the moment. I don't want to think when I'm working on music live. I want most improvisation. Surprisingly enough, yes, I strive more in improvisation on stage. I actually don't like to have a planned show because it somehow kills the energy. I mean, like, I want to just be in that moment and deliver what I can for the room, for the audience. And it's the opposite. I wish I could just, when I'm on stage, I actually want to forget about myself, and I don't want to be in the picture. I just want the songs to just flow through, but when I'm working on in the recording, it's like, it's my little universe, and I want to, like, it's also that the songs should flow, but it's more personal. And when it's live, you want want to give this a new expression to the time and the place, and that's kind of the challenge, because that's really what I want to do. I just want to be in this. I wouldn't call that maybe not trance, but it's kind of like what I'm aiming at, to be channeling, to just be. Yeah, it just happens, and what I love best about the live is when I don't know what's happening, and I just it's like I am myself an observer, and I'm like, oh, this is what's coming now. It's this is cool. I like this. But like I kind of like feel like that's what I'm kind of like want to get at. Like when I feel that, so it's very different. I don't know if it makes sense, but it's very different approach to, and each has its own challenges.
Yeah, I think is to experience that when we have these two things is very very unique, because I remember when the first time that I have some presentation in the stage playing guitar, I was very nervous and very very it's a strange sensation in the beginning,
Yeah.
because we know that we have to do this, and we have the public that was watching us, and we say, oh, I can do that. It's easy. But when we are in stage and we saw that, where we saw, oh my god, we saw that
Yeah.
it's very very the first time that that is in the beginning is very a little, it's like in when and I enter in a different and strange world, but
Yeah.
after that is it's okay. We feel confident and do the things that we work very well.
Yeah.
And that's I think is very, I think, very unique from the live presentations.
Yeah, absolutely.
And and you do some videos from your song, and you have a video clip that was very very beautiful that when I watched. And was this production a video clip, the ideas for you, how is construct the ideas for doing the video and doing this for your songs?
But do you mean a special video now, or any video?
Yes, and video, or the video you have some, I think is, what's the name of the video is, I think is for, I remember, is Rúnahild and Rúnahild,
Yeah.
Rúnahild. I
Well,
think this
this
video
one
is
is
fantastic. How are you working this production of this video?
this was this was amazing. This was just amazing. But, it's like we the Urla women, they organize trans festival in Sweden where we were invited to play, and that's where our friendship started. And at the festival, each year they have a ceremony at midnight where they have dancing ceremonies dedicated to. One year it was Freya, and 1 year to the Norns, and when I saw their ceremony, and I was I want this on a video, like combined with my music, and it's like it would be really amazing. And then so we met them a few times, and I kind of threw out the idea because it was like, okay, what about we do that? And they were all like, right on, like, yes, we're doing this. And like, there was just, you have this like positive vibe. It was straight on, yeah, we're doing this. And we had this weekend together, and then they were already rehearsing. I was like, wow, I just said the idea out loud, but it was like they were all on. They're like, okay, so then we do this, we do that, and it was like, and then we organized a weekend, and then so it was my partner, his brother, and me who were doing most of doing the filming, and then they were doing their choreography, the ceremony that they had made for the Norns. Yeah. So, and I know it was like, I don't know, it's like we were just filming, they were making magic, and we were just like, what? I was just amazed. I was like behind the camera, I was like, are we filming this? So it's so fantastic. And they were so on, and they were like so in the energy, and it was like, wow. And then just like, okay, and it was October, and it was like, yeah, let's go in the river, and then we filmed there, and it's like, okay, are you sure it's fine? It's cold. And I was saying, yeah, we just, and like, let's go even deeper. Yeah, okay, let's go deeper. And it's like just in that cold water, and like just, and you get this the non in the water when they are like, I just stirring the well, and it's, I think it's been amazing to work with them. It's just this, they're just in it. They're not just performing, they are feeling it. I think that's what shows on, that's what's amazing. It's not just a performance, it's like they really pour their energy and their devotion like into the dancing, into, they really connect with the energies. And it's just a huge honor that they were, it's I'm still amazed that we got, so it's thanks to them.
Yeah, it's have some mystic in this view that the woman's doing some special rituals and they dance and it's fantastic.
Yeah,
So it's like you are in a piece of a movie about the Nordic,
yeah.
the magic, and this is oh,
I know they
is
really,
is unique. You did a very well job with this.
I know they did the job. We were just filming. But yeah, well, no, it's been really wow. Yeah, no, no, it was just amazing.
Yeah, and Runa, one of the most questions that I do for people that work with Nordic music is, what is the significance of this type of music from people? We know that we don't have many ideas how Viking Age song sound because we don't have some answers or some registers about this. And for you, what is the expression of the Nordic sound? How you want to do with your sound to represent this type of songs, and how is work with the perspective of a Nordic sound?
Hmm. Yeah, like you say, and like everybody, other artists will say, is we don't have any sources. So, but, and I don't think it's a point. And I think that just being in a nature that's kind of connects the ages. I don't know. To me, it's like, and of course, using the few instruments we know, kind of like, okay, that was kind of what they used. So, I never really thought so much. I never really think so much uh, about it, because I'm thinking that it's about creating in the present, and kind of creating what comes now. Because in anything that kind of inspired me from Norse mythology, it's never to just be there in. Well, it used to be like this for me before. I was very like into like idealizing the past and all of this, and then now it's more about how do we integrate this in the present with how we think in our society. Like, I mean, there are obviously things that used to be before, and I don't know if I'm making any sense. I think it's a very confusing question to answer. Because I just don't really think so much about it. I just take the instruments, and I didn't even know what instruments I was buying when I actually bought my instruments. That's the craziest part. And then I realized, oh, it's this. Like when I bought my first talarpa, I had no idea what it was, but I loved the instrument, and I was like, I'm buying this. And then later I was like, oh, it's a talarpa. Oh, that's what Vadruna uses. Oh, I did not connect it before, like afterward. I just love the sound. There is something about the sound that connects, and maybe it's just, I don't know, ancestral, something, whatever, unconscious that awakens. It just, we've heard those songs, we've heard those sound, and it just kind of like the way music touches us. I think, I don't think we understand very that, but I think it's just, there is timelessness to it that maybe, I don't know, that we kind of, I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I'm just saying it. And it's like, I think we think of time as just linear, right? But obviously, I think that science is proving it's not just that simple. And I'm thinking that, I'm not sure. Probably making. I think I'm not making any sense. I just think that if you just stop thinking and you just go into the feelings, then yeah, that basically it's like, then it connects us kind of to to this music soul. I don't know. Maybe I'm just completely lost in my thought here.
Yeah, I think it is a fantastic perception that because we saw that we can create something using these sounds. We, like I said, we don't have the ideas how this is sound in the Viking Age, but you can create some aspects working with some um, ideas. We have some ethnomusicology studies. We have people that trying to create based in some aspects how the instruments are playing and put this sound of this instrument to work with that song,
Mm,
and this is
mm,
great, the magic of the song. And
mm,
this is I think is one of the things that are amazing about
mm,
the bands that work with this, or musicians that work with the Nordic sounds. It's
mm.
a new territory that are being very explored much more nowadays, and became very popular in
Yeah.
many countries.
Mm,
uh, they turn bigger, bigger, and bigger in many aspects. People love
mm.
and use that to participate in some events, some rituals, and this is part of
Exactly. Yeah.
the day by day of people that love to stay in this universe and knowledgement about the Viking Age or Norse mythology.
Mm, mm,
And Luna, one of the things that I think is very unique in your album is the costumes that you use for when you are, since that you have completed black dress, and you have in the album Say Lunar, that's a dress that are more very like an how can I say an expression for this, that you are using this a white dress that you have like in a country woman that was in the countryside and are in a in a
yeah.
and this is a very very unique, because we saw that mysterious woman who's in a very black dress with this country woman that was that's using this beautiful white dress, that she's in the costumes that in front of how can I say, is a sewing machine,
Mm,
and in front of this sewing machine is it's amazing. We saw that aspect. How do you using you like to use these conceptions for creating your albums to challenge the customs? How do you have this perception to create that?
Yeah, I mean that dress from the Sederenar album. That's a Norwegian woman who makes clothes, and I fell in love right away when I saw it. It was like, wow, I just love this, and it's kind of inspired Viking, but it's not Viking, and it's like it inspired Viking Gothic, everything. I think it's kind of it's not traditional. It's not a specific style. It's something that she designed that she just came with, and I find it really. But I just loved it, and so I don't think I don't know. I'm not so. I'm not the kind of person who's much into clothing, to be honest. So it's like I have very few clothes, and it's like I just have a few dresses. I'm like, oh, this, like, here we go. It's like I hardly ever buy clothes. So it's like maybe every now and then I'm like, okay, I need maybe a stage outfit or something, and I'm not thinking too much over it either. It's kind of like, it's just, I know a few places. I just go to some places usually, and it's like, okay, I know these people make nice clothes. So, and if I feel that I need, like in the beginning, it was maybe more close to Viking style, but it's like, I am absolutely not stuck into any kind of style. I just go for what I consider aesthetic, and so if I want, I don't know, so yeah, then I wanted something red, because it's like that's the energy I want to be in. Like when I was working with the sacred feminine energy, and I want to have something red to kind of take back feminine passion, feminine passion. That's not the word I'm looking for, but it's kind of something else. But so that doesn't. It's like, yeah, I can kind of like have. But I'm not thinking too much about it. That's the thing. Is I'm not spending much time thinking about clothes. I just like, yeah, I have this, and then yeah, it's it's not something that yeah, I don't know.
Yes, it's beautiful because we saw that this woman from the rural area, and she was in this front of this sewing machine, and it's like, I want to say, have some significance that remember me the Norns, because they
I,
have this sewing machine, and I have many ideas when I saw
I, yeah, yeah,
the cover, and I was thinking, oh, this is very similar to the myth of the Norse, that
yeah. But yeah, there
they
is inspiration, of course. Yeah, when now I see
yeah,
it. Yeah, yeah.
yes, fantastic.
Yeah, I love this kind of aesthetic, the floaty. Yeah,
Yeah, it was a very great idea when I saw that. And Bruna, for our last question, I would like to know if you have, how can I say, and having an agenda of future concerts. You have some presentations in the future, or future albums, or ideas for next your works, all your next steps.
yeah. I'm still. I'm like, it's been months since I say I'm finishing my next album, but I'm still on it. So yes, I have an album coming up sometimes in some months. I don't know when, but it's my 10th release. So have I have taken some of my old songs and make totally new version of them, because I just wanted to journey through them again. I'm taking back uh, the, uh, the spiritual and the Norse magic side, which is a concept that has been following me all along, and I'm taking it back and like re-exploring, and this will most likely come together with a book, and I am sharing my experiences with Sade, with the magic of Sade, and sharing my personal journey, what inspired the music, what yeah, inspiration, spirituality, I don't know, magic words. And so this is kind of like I've been working on it like quite a lot, but I'm still not still finishing it. And so maybe this autumn, maybe next year, I don't know, we'll see. And then I have Forest Star in Sweden at Midsummer playing live, and Midgårdsblod in Norway in August, like every year.
I love Midgårdsblod. It's an amazing festival.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of became a part of the family there. So.
Oh, that's amazing. Runa, thank you so much for doing this interview. It was an immeasurable pleasure receiving you here. It's a fantastic. I love to meet you. You are a fantastic person.
Thank you, likewise. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you so much for participating for this interview. It was amazing. I love to talk to you about your work, about how you have the ideas for your albums. It's amazing. I really appreciate your work. It's a immeasurable pleasure receiving you here.
Thank you, likewise. It's been wonderful talking to you.
Okay, I just stopped the recording.
Yes.